Hey guys, how's it going? Value Venture Investing here. So today I'm going to do a really quick video on the difference between revenue, profit, and net income. Now I find this is something that's kind of confused very often, even though it seems to be a very basic concept. So this video is actually going to be before some other videos that I'm going to be producing really soon about how to read an income statement, how to read a balance sheet, and how to read a statement of cash flows, and also how to find those online as well. So let's start right here with revenue, which is the easiest one. Probably a lot of you know what that is. So revenue is essentially called net sales if it's a sales company. It's just generally the amount of money that comes in. So let's take, for example, a t-shirt company. So say that you decided to start manufacturing t-shirts and selling them. Say you sell them for $10 a t-shirt and you sell 50 of them. So that'd be $500 in revenue, right? So that's what revenue is. Now, of course, with revenue, there's going to be costs associated with that as well, right? So this is where the cost of sales comes in, or cost of goods sold comes in. You'll see this in income statements, and these are accounting terms. So for cost of goods sold for these t-shirts, you might have, say, salary. Say you pay somebody, say you pay them $100. Say the cost of the shirts themselves or the material is another $100. And there can also be some indirect costs in there, like manufacturing overhead, but this is getting more into accounting. So then you would have a cost of goods sold of $200, right? So now what your profit is, I'll grab this one, is $300. So that's a pretty basic concept. It's just generally speaking revenue over expenses. These are your expenses. Now, profit and net income are kind of synonymous. They're sort of the same thing, but as you get bigger companies, there's other things involved, or you get accounting involved. Net income can be different from profit or gross profit. So something that can come in on the income statement before net income is selling, general, and administrative expenses. So it's abbreviated SG and A. So as you can see here, these are not directly related to the production of the material. So say we're talking about t-shirts here, they're not directly related to it. So say we've got a bigger company and we have a building, we have rent, we have utilities, we have advertising costs, commissions on our salespeople. Say it's even bigger when we have executive salaries like a CEO or something like that, or salespeople's salary. These aren't included in the cost of sales. So they come down here. So say you only have, for argument's sake, $100 of SG&A, now your net income is $200. So that's how net income can vary from profit or gross profit. So to get a little bit better idea of how this looks on an income statement, let's take a look right now at Apple's income statement. It's one that I like to use quite often. Let's take a look here. So as you can see, the net sales, that's the same as revenue of $53 billion. This was last quarter, by the way. Cost of sales, that's just another term as we spoke about on cost of goods sold. It was about $32 billion. So the gross margin is $20 billion. This next line down here, what we're looking at right here, the operating expenses, there's your selling, general, and administrative expenses. They also put R&D in there, but I didn't get into that. So then that gives you operating income, which is something that I didn't talk about, but that's where it comes down next on the line. Then below that, there's also provision for income taxes, which I didn't include in my example, but this is very typical for a company. They have their income taxes, and then there comes net income. So again, if we come back to this, revenue, so in Apple's case, they had the revenue, they had the cost of sales, and then they had a gross profit. They had selling, general, and administrative expenses, they had R&D, and then below that they have some taxes, but that's getting a little bit more complicated. So this video is just basically about what the difference is between revenue, profit, and net income. So profit and net income, pretty much the same thing. However, once you start getting more line items in there in big corporations, net income becomes obviously a lot less because of selling, general, administrative expenses, research and development, etc. But a simple company, like you're just doing something yourself, profit and net income would be the same thing. And revenue, of course, is just the price of your goods times how many you sold or your service, and that's revenue. So I hope that made a lot of sense, guys, and I'm going to be doing some videos here pretty soon on actually how to look up these statements of income, balance sheet, operating or statement of cash flows, and I'm going to explain a little bit more than this because this was just a general introduction. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.